Wet snow. Yeah, wet snow is heavy.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालां पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातदं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, सब भक्त वृंद की जय। हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा। Last chapter, contents of the Gita summarized, has summary of everything in a very concise way that we are going to see throughout the Bhagavad Gita. And this third chapter is titled as Karma Yoga. So from here, the Gunibhuta session, Gunibhuta Bhakti, the bhakti that has some degree of guna, and guna means passion, ignorance, and goodness. Most of material nature is called guna or gun. So bhakti that is still being performed or being done in one of these modes of material nature. So before we get into this chapter, I have few announcements that I would like to do. So once a while, we'll just have a discussion among ourselves. We'll just discuss as a group that what are the learning that you have in the previous chapter, or what questions you have that you would like to ask. Normally we do after every 3 chapters. So first and second chapter is done. This is the third chapter. So after this chapter, we'll just, one class, all of us will talk about what doubts you have. Oh, or something that I went through does not make any sense. I don't know why it's been spoken here. It's better that we talk about it and have some degree of clarity on that before we get into the entire sixth chapter and then find out that I'm not fully aligned with everything. So that one thing. Second thing, don't be shy or hesitant asking anything that you have in your mind. Whatever doubt you have, you should be pretty clear about it and you should ask about it. So, what is the connection between previous chapter and this chapter? In previous chapter, Krishna spoke that you have to be Sit Pragya, come to the stage of perfect knowledge and become free from the duality of this material world and focus. Don't get affected by the object of senses and fully situate yourself in Bhakti Yoga. And then the word is being used here, Buddhi Yoga. So after hearing all the instructions, Arjun is now getting more confused, which we normally get many times. He's saying, so, so then I was right, Arjun said. I was right that I don't want to fight because now I want to be in full knowledge. And I see all of these people are my relatives. So I just want to renounce. But that's what I just thought that I should become a Sit Pragya and not be affected by sorrow and lamentation and just fully situate in your devotional service which means leave everything. That's the one degree of understanding. So in Bhagavad Gita, Arjun is playing a role of you and I. So the type of questions that he would ask is what normally you and I would ask. Okay, so now you are saying that I should be the renunciate. So I'm going to renounce everything. I don't want to fight. I was right. Then Krishna starts giving instruction. This chapter is Karma Yoga. And Karma Yoga is not Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda and Karma Yoga will hear. So please don't be confused. This chapter is called Karma Yoga, not Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda, and you will see in the next slide what does it mean. So Krishna says, no, you got it wrong, my friend. Renunciation means you can renounce also being in the full action. So that is the basic theme. The theme is that and we call it Yukt Vairagya. So the concept of Yukt Vairagya, Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe, Yukt Vairagya Uchyate. Having relationship with those objects which are related to Krishna is what called Vairagya. Yukt Vairagya means detachment with some degree of possession. And that possession is related to Krishna. Whatever pleases Krishna, that's what we'll do. So Nirbandha and Sambandha, these two words are being used here. Nirbandha and Sambandha means attachment and detachment. So we are not fully detached. Krishna says that when we are artificially detached, then that's called Falgu Vairagya, false detachment. And when we are fully attached, then it's called Vishaya Ashaktaha. So we don't have to be Vishaya Ashakt, means fully attached, and we don't have to artificially renounce Falgu Vairagya. Rather, we have to be Yukt Vairagya, detachment with some degree of understanding. And in Karma Yoga, that Yukt Vairagya is practiced very nicely. So that's what we'll try to understand. We'll keep that thing in our mind. Now our goal is to understand the true definition of Karma Yoga. So Krishna will talk about that how you can act without being attached to the fruits of the result. So here Niskam is very important. Okay, the word here, you'll see the word Niskam. Niskam does not mean a calm. Please, some of these terms you have to remember, make a note, and also understand it so that you can present the concepts. All of the concepts lies in understanding the real meaning of these words. If we don't understand these words, then we'll understand wrongly. So Niskam does not mean akam. What is akam? Akam means no action. And Niskam also, in one sense, Niskam means no action, but no. Niskam means action without attaching to the fruits of the result. That's the real meaning of Niskam. Niskam does not mean no action. Niskam means those action which are being done for pleasing Krishna. Niskam does not mean that no action. So in this chapter, We'll understand Karma Yoga also by using this word Niskam. But you have to understand that Nishkam word is being given to us here so that we can better understand calm. And we'll get through that as we go through this chapter. So now these terms, we have to be very, very careful. Whenever we see this word yoga, yoga literally means, in one sense, it's bhakti. Okay. So karma yoga, gyan yoga, stang yoga, or bhakti yoga, like we say, right? So bhakti yoga, bhakti yoga is like completely pure. But yoga means something that brings together. So what are those two things that will bring together? What are those two things that have to be together? Atma and Paramatma. Atma and Paramatma, soul and Bhagwan, they have to come together. They are together, by the way, in our heart, but we are not seeing the super soul. So karma yoga literally means that karma which brings, which which provoke or invoke relationship to Bhagwan. That's what it means. Action, in very summarized way, action that inspire one to get close to Bhagwan. That's the literal meaning. It does not mean that there is no action, or it doesn't mean any other action or any other benefits or goals. Is that clear so far? So we'll basically get through this slide very slowly and we'll try to understand. And I request that you understand this very carefully. If you have doubt, you ask. Once you study Bhagavad Gita very nicely, then it will help your philosophy. Krishna is saying, Arjuna, Arjuna was not in a mood of fighting. At the end of Bhagavad Gita, he said, Kadisayavachanam Tuam. Right? So all of us have to be like that. At the end, we have to say that, okay, my dear Lord, we'll do whatever is needed. So karma kand. Karma is action, and the word kand is being used here because the action of this karma is sense pleasure. That's why the word kand is. It's not yoga. Please remember, it's not yoga. It's karma kanda. So karma kand, action that are being done for sense gratification. Okay, so that is the lowest type of consciousness. In this consciousness, we are acting hard, but the goal is sense gratification. So that type of action definitely is not Krishna is going to ask. So what is going to ask is that at least come to this stage of Sakam Karma Yoga. Okay. So Karma Kanda is done for sense gratification. Okay. And Sakam Karma Yoga is done for some result. And that result right now is in a very lower stage, which is done for heavenly pleasure. Like, for example, worshipping Indra or any other demigods to go to their abode. So this is Sakam Karma. Sakam means calm action that is done with result, some result. And the result is that one is trying to get the heavenly pleasure. But the good thing about the Sakam Karma Yoga is that the performer, the person who is performing this, he is performing the duties of Varnasrama. That's the beautiful part. That's why we are even talking about it. Okay. But in Karma Kanda, you are not performing the duty of Varna and Ashram. So for example, in Karma Kanda stage, Brahman will act as a Sudra. Okay, Brahman will be the meat eater. Brahman will be the one who will drink the wine and liquor. So this is karma contemplate for. That's why Shastra says that just by birth one does not become Brahmin. You are Brahmin, and if you are working as Varna and Ashram, then you are Brahmin. Chaturvidya Maya system, Varnashram, Vibhagasa. Krishna says that these divisions are based on Varna and Ashram. Okay, so for learning purpose, don't be upset. If you are Brahmin or Kshatriya or Sudra, don't be upset saying that why Ramacharya Prabhu is saying like that. I'm just trying to give you the concept as I have understood. So in Karma Kanda stage, you are not following your Varna. So Sudra will act like maybe Brahmin, Brahmin will act like Sudra, Vaisya will act like Kshatriya, Kshatriya will act like Vaisya. It's all one Sankara it's called, hodgepodge, mix up. Why? Because we don't care for anything else. All we care is that sense gratification. How my senses will be gratified.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Recording
Yeah.
is not enabled today, Prabhuji.
What is that?
Recording.
It's happening on YouTube.
Okay, okay.
It's live.
Sorry.
I say here, it says that YouTube live.
Okay, okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Sorry.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you for asking. I do normally YouTube. Yeah, it says that the session is being recorded. Is something else that I need to do? Or is that okay? That's how I do, and I see that it's always getting recorded.
That should work, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Okay.
Seems. Yeah. Thank you.
So is it clear what is Karma Kanda state? First, it's very, very important. This concept should be very clear. So in Karma Kanda state, when we are in Karma Kanda consciousness, we are not following the duties of Varnas. And goal is mostly sense gratification. So you can see that vast part of the community is following under this. And we who have Varna and Ashram, we imitate them and we think that they are advanced. So-called advancement is right here. So-called social advancement that right now we have in the society is right here. In India, there was time that people had faith, in Varna and Ashram, women were very chaste and all of that. But now on the net advancement, we all are coming to this section here. So according to Vedic teaching, that's Karma Kanda stage. Like no restrictions, men and women mingling. There is no men and women are of the same right, same power, all of that we hear, only for the purpose of sense gratifications. If there is higher purpose, it's good. So Veda basically is saying what teaching is helping us to understand where we are and what is the right way of doing it. Okay, Vedic teaching does not really stop, but it gives the guidance, it gives the definition that, okay, so if you are doing this, that means that's your interest. So you do like that. That is how you are doing. That means that's your interest. Here is how you should do. Okay. So very, very important. So I'll just, keep ourselves limited to these two terms, Sakam Karma Yoga and Niskam Karma Yoga type 1. So Sakam Karma Yoga is done for higher pleasure. Means not sense gratification. Now the living entity has gone little higher. And Niskam Karma Yoga, you still perform the duty of Varna and Ashram, but in the initial stage, it's done for purification. And some part of that is being done for liberation. Okay, so Sakam Karma Yoga and Niskam Karma Yoga type 1 literally telling you. In fact, Niskam Karma Yoga type 2 is also Karma Yoga, higher stage of Karma Yoga, but at least do these two parts, Sakam Karma Yoga and Niskam Karma Yoga, It's giving you some understanding of Karma Yoga. Okay. In Karma Yoga also, we perform the right duty. Right duty. And in the beginning, our goal might not be right. But as we keep on performing and we purify ourselves, then our goal becomes more clear. Okay. The goal becomes clear. Like, for example, you know, instead of worshiping demigod, now we should worship Supreme Personality of Godhead. Or should we worship his Brahman form, Paramatma form, or Bhagwan? We don't know at this point. Okay. But some clarity has come because some purification has happened. So this is a gradual process, devotee. It's not like this. Done. I got it. No. Slowly and slowly progress. Okay. So I wanted to make sure that these terms are clear, and you will see the definitions as you go through the verses. We'll be talking about this, and as we talk about, we'll pause and give some time to reflect. So Surendra Prabhu, you have something that you'd like to ask?
Yeah, yeah, Prabhu. So just one quick thought here. Uh, in the ladder, you mentioned Karma Kanda, Sakama Karma Yoga, and Nishkama Karma, all of these activities. Can we add one more column, the basis scripture from where we are deriving these activities?
You were a little bit soft. Last part. What did you say? Can we add one more
No,
column?
can we add one more column which will talk about, let's say, prescribed duties of Varnashrama? So, what is the basis scripture to be followed, for that? The prescribed
Oh, so what should be the duty? Yeah, that's a very
yeah.
good point.
So activities, okay. In the activities, what is the basis scripture to find out those activities?
Yeah, that's a very good point. Very good. I think so. I think so. That's a good point. Yes. No, so let me answer that. That's a good, very good point. Thank you. That means you were thinking and listening. So there are Earth Shastra, there are Dharma Shastra, there are Bhakti Shastra. Dharma, or the principle of Artha, principle of Dharma, and principle of Bhakti. These three terms. So in Karma Kanda stage, their Bible is Earth Shastra. A very good point that you mentioned. Thank you. So their most of the intelligence is coming from Earth Shastra. 7 behavior of this, 7 behavior of that, how to become the king in the material world, how to behave with the people who are your, worker, how you should pretend that you are the smart, that called also bypassing of the spiritual values. So in Karma Kanda, they bypass completely. That's very good. So Earth Shastra. So people are Visaya Asakta because they have no faith in Shastra. Shastra, so devotee means four things. We'll talk about that. Four faith, at least in the beginning. That's very good. So here, their faith is in Earth Shastra. But in Sakam Karma Yoga, their faith is now transitioning from Earth Shastra to Dharma Shastra. In the beginning stage, their faith is Dharma Shastra. And when they purify a little bit more, then they go towards Bhakti Shastra, a scripture that is talking about devotion. Okay. So that's how also we transform. Transformation of consciousness happens through which source we are receiving knowledge. What is source of receiving the knowledge? And that's how we will be. So if you read a book on servant leadership, then you'll be kind of servant leadership says that this, that, and that will be your source of inspiration. That's how we'll behave, But if you read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad Gita says what is the humility, then you will be basically thinking, okay, humility means this, humility means that. So source of knowledge from where it's coming is very, very important because that's how it shape your personality. Good. Anything else?
Prabhuji, so Karma Kanda stage is before the devoteeling stage, right? So devoteeling is the Visaya Sangra, then
Yeah.
so just
Yeah. So Visaya Sakti is the Karma Kanda stage, grossest stage. This is before dovetailing. Yeah. Dovetailing, that's another point. Good point. So dovetailing starts from here, Prabhu.
Got it,
From
Prabhu.
Sakam Karma Yoga, Niskam Karma Yoga, all of these are dovetailing stage. That's good. Another good point. Yes. So here Bisaya Asaktaha. I mean, you can have multiple column. You are right. So at this point in Karma Kanda point, you are Bisaya Asakta. And Sakam Karma Yogi, now you are dovetailing. Little bit, doing little bit endeavor you are trying to put in the right direction. Not too much endeavor, some endeavor. Yes. That's good. Yeah, so that's how, if you think about it, then questions will come in your mind. What about this? What about that? So yes, appreciate that. Anything else? Anything else anybody has?
I think just to have a follow-up question there, Prabhu, to
Yeah,
ask what like Surendra Prabhu has asked, right? So now, what would be, yeah, probably if you can go to the next slide there.
yeah.
Yeah, here. So I believe what Surendra Prabhu has asked here is for, let's say, if we take a person who is a karma kandi right now, what would inspire them to go to Sakama Karma Yogi, then the Nishkama Karma Yogi? So, what is that process?
Wow.
What is that,
Yeah,
let's
very
say,
good question.
just in simple language, what is the
Yeah,
course you have to take to go to next level?
yeah. That's what Krishna is going to teach to Arjun.
Mm.
That how to get there. That's good.
Okay.
We'll hear, but that's good.
Sure.
So how to get there, okay? How to get there? Our goal is basically to come here, right? All the way at the end. BY, Bhakti Yoga, right?
Mm.
And these are the different steps of that stair or the ladder where one might be. One might be. So these are just the steps of the ladder. So gradually one has to go up, go up, go up, go up, go up, go up, go up. So how you go there? First, what is it? What exactly is it? And then second, how you go there? How you go there? And that's what we'll slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly learn. Yes, good point. How you get there? So right now, our focus is very much trying to explain what is it? What exactly is Karma Kanda, Sakam Karma Yoga? And then we'll get to the point where we'll talk about how to get there. Yes. Good. What else? All of this is very important point. Anything else?
How to get in there, Prabhu? Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha.
Yeah. Yeah, but not in the initial stage though.
Yeah, but either pre Sukriti.
Yeah, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha here, this stage. But in the beginning, yes, beginning also Sadhu Sangha. Right. Yeah, I mean, I take it. I see from where you were coming from. Yes. Yes. Sadhu Sangha is one aspect of it. Yes. What else?
Hare Krishna, I have a
Ah.
little bit maybe childish question, but my question is, why do we need to know all these different levels?
Why do we? Yeah, that's why we have to even know this. That's very good. Why Krishna has just spent time about karma yoga, sakam karma yoga. Why didn't he start talking about bhakti yoga? That's a very good point. Why we have to even know about it? What is the answer? Let everybody give the answer. I'm gonna stop sharing. Why we have to know about this?
I think
Let's start from. Sir, you wanna start? You are the first person, Prabhu. Or you want me to go to my screen? I wanna hear from everybody. Why we have to? This is very important.
I
Why we
think
have to even know about it?
because not everyone is in the same consciousness.
Okay, so that's one answer. Not everybody is in the same consciousness, or maybe they did not understand their consciousness is right. They might be in the wrong consciousness and thinking that they are the most exalted person.
And the other way to think is, this, if it is like a pre-test assessment. So where to
Yeah,
today? So
introspection.
I can make effort to go to next level. So this is,
Yeah.
in the ladder is like a pre-test.
Please note all of these points. So it's basically assessment, self-assessment. Self-assessment has to happen in bhakti. If you don't know where you are, then how you would know where you have to go? If I don't know that I'm in Missouri, how I would know that how I have to go to California? I see that I'm already in California, but sleeping, being in Missouri, I would never get there. So self-assessment, 1 point. Okay, good point. So he says self-assessment. That's Mataji to be noted. Self-assessment is very important. This teaching will help us assess ourselves. Okay, what else? Next is Sundar Prabhu. What we think, Sundar Prabhu? Why we have to do this? I'm just going through the names. I'm calling out the name of everybody.
So I see it like the nature, the Maya Prakriti, which has got so much of ways and means.
Prabhu, I can't hear you, Prabhu. Sorry.
Okay, I'll just put it. Yeah, here. So the nature is really Maya Prakriti, Krishna's another energy. We should understand how it keeps all the living entities under its clutches. And through this realizations, we know where we fall in. Again, tying back to the same Uday Prabhu has mentioned. So we will be knowing okay, where to go, where we started, where to go. This is kind of a roadmap. I can bring similar analogy
Yeah. So you are saying that Maya has a very complex system, and we may be getting caught by her system. So you have to know where we are. Okay, that's
so,
good. So,
yeah, one analogy is like if you, let's say we are all going to schooling education system. You all know that once you get 21 years age, if you finish your masters or bachelors, whatever it is, 22nd years, then you'll get the job, right? But you have to go through all the kindergarten and everything to know the basics and how it all functions, and finally you will be there where you can operate and you can do job. Otherwise, okay, wait for 21 years, let's do the only bachelor's course, then cannot give you.
Yeah, good. Okay, so now next is on my screen, Ananga Sundari Mataji. Why we have to even know about this thing? Whatever answer you have.
It just one point came into my mind, like first of all, this human beings, every human should ask the questions why I am suffering, because there are all kinds of sorts of dualities in this material world, and we are suffering because of those dualities. So one should ask that question first: am I really suffering because of happiness, distress all the time? It is up and down happening in my life. So that question first should come into every human's mind, that am I really suffering? And if I am suffering, then all other sorts of things will come into picture, that what kind of this suffering, only the suffering to my body or the soul, or and then what is body and what is soul and everything. And then that will take you to the different activities that we have to follow in this human lifestyle, that we have, what kind of activities that we are doing, and whether we are doing the activities in the right direction or not. So what does it mean? What are those scriptures are telling us? Are there any scriptures, authoritative scriptures? And then all those inquiries will come step by step later. But if person does not first of all understand that I'm really suffering, if that is not there, then yes, that jitnasa is not there, then we will not search for any other sort of.
Yeah, so that's another point, that we are inquiring about the truth, and truth we have to go through in an order. So okay, that's good. That's second point. I like that. Okay, so I have now on my screen here Anjan Prabhu. He's here or he left? Anjan Prabhu, what is your understanding? Why we have to even go through? Why we have to hear about Karma Yoga and Kam Karma Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga? Whatever answer you have, if you don't have that answer, Prabhu, I don't know at this point. That's also fine.
I think, Prabhuji, I'll agree with the first one, like self-assessment.
Yes.
More because I mean, also Mataji's point about inquiring about where you are standing, why you are
Yes.
suffering, what is the purpose of our life, and how we can pursue our lifestyle in terms of our self-calibration tool for our soul to
Wow.
understand Krishna.
Self-calibration tool. Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
important point. Yes.
because I think you mentioned it previously, like I am chanting, 16 round, but this chanting just like numericals that
Mm.
might not be to the level or the objectives that I want. So
Mm. No, that's a good point. Thank you, Prabhu. I know you are very serious bhakta. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So next on the screen, I have Vrinda Sundari Mataji. I'm not sure if she can talk or not. Mataji, can you talk or you are busy?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Why we have to even know about this all, Mataji?
Just a very simple idea came. If we can see the bigger picture, it gives us the knowledge how to come to Krishna in a motivational way.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That's the answer also. That
Yeah.
if you know the goal, then you can navigate, So in order for us to, so for example, if you go to a store and you want to buy a good product, have you seen sometimes shopkeeper will show you something that is bad and then they'll say that, see, this is the, inferior quality and this is superior quality. And for you to perceive, yes, this is superior, you have to see the inferior also. Have you seen that? Have you come across things like that? Where you have to go through the inferior things to understand the value of superior thing, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So that's the point. That's very important point. You know, Krishna will, if he directly will talk about Bhakti Yoga, then you might not understand the value of Bhakti Yoga. Rather, he says, see, these are all the items where you can maybe hang up thinking that you are doing Bhakti. But really, you have to do this. Okay. So, pathway. That's a beautiful point. Thank you. Thank you. Now, let's see on the screen. We have Gautam and Santa Mataji. What do you have? Why we have to? Please tell anything that you have.
I was thinking in the same line as the first one, where you have to know what you're doing, not
Yeah.
just to assess yourself now, but assess yourself because you're not at the same level all the time.
Yes.
So you have to assess yourself continually and seeing whether
Yes.
you're going down the right path or are you moving backward.
Awesome. Very true. Very true. Very true. We have to know that. Okay. Thank you. Next on the screen is Hari Krishna Prabhu. Why
Hare
we have to
Krishna.
know about this?
Prabhuji, I was again, so on the similar lines. So, since a human has intelligence, in order to utilize that intelligence, we need to know what's wrong, what is, to first thing acquiring the knowledge and using the intelligence to progress in those ladders. So, that's why we need to know all about all these ladders and different
Okay.
yogas. Okay.
Right. Similar answer. Thank you. So next on the screen is Lakshmi Prasanna Mataji. Why we have to even hear about this thing?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Firstly, if we know about all those things, then we can understand like what path we need to choose and
Yeah.
which one needs to get appreciated. And if we know the highest thing, then we can put it as a goal, and then we can start from the beginning. Like we can understand like where we are exactly currently and what are the things that are needed for us to get motivated or to get habituated some good habits or good spiritual practices, so that we can ultimately reach the our goal purpose of our life.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hare
Thank
Krishna
you.
Prabhuji.
Now, Nadia Mataji, your name is there. You tell us why we have to, and you asked the question, very good question. Why you have to even know about this? What your understanding, Mataji? Question back to you. Why we have to tell whatever you think? I know you ask us, and we are trying to help answer your question, but we want to ask you
So
also.
when I asked this question, I had no idea, but hearing everybody say different ideas, my thought, I just thought of this. Maybe that way because not everybody wants to practice bhakti yoga. So that way people have options. I can practice different things and still I'm slowly going towards God.
Wow.
Maybe it's going to take many lifetimes, but at least I'm on this path. That's what I think. People
Wow.
have choices.
Yes. People, Krishna does not want to say that you must buy this and you don't have choice. Then this is beautiful answer. Then there is a concept of independent will. Living entity have independent will. Free will, we call it, right? So if there is only one path, then where is free will? So Krishna does not want to say that everybody must be Vaishnava. One can be Saivite, one can follow Christianism, one can follow Islamic religion, one can Abrahamic, all of that. Karma Yogi, Gyan Yogi, Astang Yogi, Paramatma, Brahman, go ahead. But as a Supreme Father, he has to tell the truth also. That's fine. That's fine. But ultimately you should do this. So very nice. You already knew the answer. Yes. That's the point. So last on the screen, I have Satya and Sweta Mataji. Prabhu, why we have to even go through all of this? Please tell me.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I think last chapter, chapter 2, just you started with saying that Krishna is asking Arjuna to get into Sthita Pragya. Sthita Pragya is a kind of, Bises, Pragya is a Bises knowledge or Bises
Hmm.
information. And Arjuna is accepting Krishna as a guru and he's asking, please guide me. And Krishna being a guru, he's giving a full knowledge to Arjuna, saying that, hey, these are the process, these are the steps. And one and the reason is all this question is coming because Krishna putting him in the illusion and choose to give the full knowledge to as humanity as large, all these steps, and guru being a guru, he is giving this gyan to.
Yes, I got it. So thank you, Prabhu. So Bhagavad Gita has 700 verses, and except few verses that is talking about devotional service, these verses does not apply to Arjun. We are the customer, not Arjun, by the way. So Krishna is trying to answer this question for us, not for Arjun. Arjun is already with Krishna, which you and I are not. So let's get into this chapter. So this chapter begins, Arjun is asking, O Janardhan, if you think Buddhi is better than karma, then why do you want me to fight? First question. If you think that Buddhi is better, that's what you are saying, Buddhi Yoga, O Arjun, be fully situated in Buddhi Yoga, then why even I have to do this fighting? Then Krishna starts saying that there are two types of people. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. One is called Karma Yogi and second one is called Gyan Yogi. Okay. Karma Yogi are the one who perform the prescribed duty. And Gyan Yogis are the one who renounce the work. So this distinction here are based on who adopt the action and who do not. So there is one who take the action and there is one who do not. Karma Yogi are the one who are taking the action of Varna and Ashram. And Gyan Yogi will not. But then he says, but by merely abstaining from the prescribed action, one cannot achieve purity or freedom from reaction. Two things, please remember. So Gyan Yogi, what they do, they, in search of knowledge, they become akami, okay? Not niskami. Sometimes I'll use the technical word, but please, they don't try to engage in any action. And they go to the secluded place where there is nobody around, and then they start following the religious and philosophical path. So Krishna is saying, please listen it carefully. By merely abstaining from prescribed action, one cannot achieve purity or freedom from the reaction. By renunciation of activities, one cannot attain perfection or liberation. You see here? So both is saying that if the karma yogi artificially does not do the action, that doesn't mean that he has purified. No goal can be achieved by leaving the action. On the other hand, the person who has renounced also cannot attain perfection or liberation. So both karma yogi by leaving the work or Gyan yogi by leaving the work, none of these will attain the perfection, purification, and liberation. So what is the point? Both karma yogi and Gyan yogi. So then the purpose, right? We say intent behind action, right? So they have taken the action here now. Karma yogi is also not going to be purified, not going to get the purification, not going to get liberate. Gyan yogi, if they do artificially, this artificial renunciation is not going to lead to perfection, liberation, or purification. Tomorrow, to the new batch that I teach Bhakti, Sudh Bhakti Chintamani, I'm going to give them definition of Krishna consciousness. So in Krishna consciousness, our Acharya has said, Rupa Goswami says, Krishna consciousness means taking anxiety, being anxious for Krishna. Yeah, that how temple will run, how Sunday feast is going, how Rath Yatra will happen, how local people in the community would know about Krishna. Krishna says that this is not the mundane anxiety that people normally think. You are very anxious. Prabhupada said that anxiety in Krishna consciousness is the means of purification. Okay, so here one might renounce everything artificially, or one might not take any varnashram dharma artificially. None of these are going to be purified. Please know that very carefully. Okay, so then what is that? That will give purification. That's what we have to know. Because Mataji asked, why we have to know that? Maybe artificially we are trying to be Gyan Yogi, leave everything. Who is going to work with maintaining this temple and hiring the priest and making sure that Sunday feast is happening, cooking is happening. Get rid of everything and just go to some quiet place and chant and do something. Focus on our advancement. Krishna says you cannot advance like that. And then he'll give the answer. He gives the reason why you cannot do that. We'll see very logically. Okay. So neither this karma yogi nor this Gyan yogi, if they're artificially trying to be karma and Gyan yogi, will achieve any result. Because the person whose nature is to act, if they don't act, that becomes unnatural, says. So the way living entities are designed, they are designed to act. And if they are not acting, that means they are in their unnatural state. And when they are in their unnatural state, they are not getting liberation. They are not purifying themselves. They are not achieving any perfection. Now, you'd say, Prabhu, how you know that my natural state is that I act? In the purport, Prabhupada very clearly says that a child cannot even live a minute without acting. Human being cannot live 1 minute without acting. Action is our part of the nature. And if you don't act now, you'll act later. But you'll act. If you are not acting for right thing, you'll act for wrong thing, but you will act. People, the difference between ordinary and devotee is that ordinary people, they are going to nightclub. Devotee is going to temple. Both of them are acting. So Krishna very literally says that, oh, this is unnatural. I don't think that one can act without, one cannot survive without acting. So first very important thing is that from this slide we are getting that action is important. Okay. Being inactive is our unnatural state. Like all of us are working, all of us are cooking, making some food for our children, dressing up them, sending them in school. Who is not acting? Tell me. And but what Krishna will say is that all you have to do is that you are acting anyways, but act for me. That's all. That's the only shift Krishna will say. That's only. So somebody is not acting, is not in a natural state. Somebody is acting for sense gratification, is also not in the natural state. All we have to do is that shift it and act for Krishna. So that's what. Okay, Prabhu, Satya Prabhu, what is your question before I get into the next slide? What do you like to know? Yeah.
Yeah, so text 3, it talks about no one can be without action, right?
Uh-huh.
Sorry, five, sorry,
Yeah.
5. So every human being or living being has to be kind of working for something.
They're already working. Everybody is working already.
When we say Jnana Yogi who renounced the work, then what he's doing then? So my question is renouncing the work, but the other things he's doing, going somewhere sacred place or something, that is also a work, but just that destination is different.
Prabhu, there are people who do not work. So, there is a society, the people who are follower of Lord Buddha. I'm recorded, so I should not say that. But their understanding is the source of all the suffering is oneself and one's desire. Okay. So as long as you have desire, you'll have suffering. But the goal of life is to come out of suffering. You don't want to suffer. So what they do, they leave everything. Anything that has to do with the desire. If you stay with the family, then you have to buy the food, desire of buying the food, going for grocery, getting the gas in your car, going for job, making the money, making sure that your son and daughter, they are educated, giving their tuition fee. Once they're educated, getting them married. This is all desire. And in this desire, they say, the desire tree, this iksha, which everybody is trapped. And that is cause of their suffering. So what they do, they don't take part in any action. That's called akama. And they go to the places and they just meditate. They just try to nirvishesha shunyavada. Every time we chant this verse. So they become shunyavad. Shunyavad means there is nothing. And they say that the most important thing in life is nirvana. And what is that nirvana? When you are free from all the desires. So meditate on that sunya. The sunya, meditate on the sunya. And you become free from all the desire. And if you can meditate on that, they too much meditate. All they do is everything is meditate. And what is that meditation? That dot, shunya. And once you can meditate on that sunya without any distraction, then all the desires that you have is gone. And then in that state will merge. Okay. So there's a calm. There is no action. Prabhupada says that is basically taking bath of elephant. It goes into the river, takes very nice bath, and as soon as it comes on the bank, takes some sand and throws. So artificial, it's called Falgu Baragya, artificially forcing ourselves that there is no action. That's what Krishna is saying. That Vishaya Binivartante Niraharasya Dehinam. They force themselves that I don't have desire for sense pleasure. But as soon as they get out of it, they start looking for the object of sense pleasure. Okay, so that is akama. Now, this Jnana Yoga path is the path of neti or accepting or rejecting. So, for example, what they do, Jnana Yoga path is that, so you will have two choice. The choice is, do I want to die or do I want to live forever? Which answer you like? I like the answer for living forever. Okay. So for living forever, what do I need to do? I have two options. I go on the path of Brahman or I go on the path of Bhagwan. Okay. So if I go on the path of Brahman, then Krishna says that although you come to eternity, but at some point you lose that opportunity and you'll have to again go back and start from zero. But if you go to Bhagwan, then you will never come back. Okay, so let's do on the path. So it's mostly, basically it's called Sankhya Yoga philosophy, using our mind and intelligence to decide what is good to do, what is not good to do. Okay. And then in order to do that, you are freeing yourself from everything else. Okay, no action, nothing. So Krishna says that both of those are unnatural. Artificially you are forcing, and that's why the big fall down happened. I'm not talking about devotee doesn't fall down, please don't say like that, but mostly you will see that in big people top on the leader, they are getting caught into having raping of the women and taking the money of the organization and running away because there is not enough purification is not happening. Okay, so that's what basically is being said here, that unnaturally, if you try to engage or adopt a path, that path is not going to purify you, then you cannot liberate through that path. And there are people who are doing it. They will go and say that they will not talk anything about Krishna, but they will say that meditate. What you are meditating on? Oh, just meditate on yourself. They have no concept of God. They have no concept of Bhagavan. They have no concept of Krishna. Krishna says that type of meditation will never bring purification. Some sort of, defect is there, and that will keep you hanging. So action is our nature. We have to act. And that's why Prabhupada said Bhakti Yoga means service for Krishna. Cooking, Aarti, Kirtan, Mridanga playing, book distribution, all of that is filled up with action. But that action should be Shuddha action that is going to please. So we'll talk about it. Throughout this course, you will learn all of these things if you really systematically follow the way teachings are coming. So that's what it is. Inaction is unnatural. Does it help you understand, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, it helped, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
We don't wanna be in action. Rather, we wanna be action. Now, somebody asked Prabhupada, what is the difference between you and a businessman? Why you are saying that? Because the businessman is always thinking about how to expand their business. He's also thinking about how to bring more money. He's also thinking about how to hire more people. So that's what you are doing. You want to expand your organization. You want more people to come and follow, and you want more people to come and give you donations. So what is the difference between you and a big businessman? Krishna says, Prabhupada said gulf course of difference, huge difference. Whatever I am doing now here, I'm doing it for Krishna. And by doing this, this is my devotional service, this is my bhakti, and this will purify. But on the other hand, they are doing for sense gratification, it will bind. So there is huge difference. One path will liberate, make me free, and other path will bind. So our goal is to be free. So we went up to verse number 5, and I would suggest that we should stop and have few questions answered. I'll keep the screen there in case if there is anything from. So we went through 3 slides. That's good. And then I'll try to definitely go through it a little faster. But today we learned, at least we are trying to get into the Karma Yoga section. Action is unnatural. Okay. Krishna is saying that either we be on the path of karma or jnana and artificially not act or artificially renounce everything. This is not going to give us any purification, no liberation, nothing. So slowly and slowly, we'll get to that point where Krishna says what you should do, what you should not do. Okay. Hare Krishna. Let's stop here. See if there is anything anybody would like to ask. It's 12:33. Next Saturday, I'll be in New Vrindavan, so we're not going to have the class. I don't know if I can manage, but if I can, I'll let you know if I have internet and everything else. If not, then most likely we'll not, but we'll see. I'll keep you all informed, but just want to let you know that there are chances that we might not have class. Anything anybody has?
Prabhuji, I had one question.
Yeah.
You showed the different stages of karma, right? Niskama karma and everything. I feel sometimes we can be in many of those stages simultaneously.
Yeah.
It's just the fraction of, we need to try and spend more and more fraction of time on the lower and the higher stage.
Very good point. So, although that's very good point. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you so much for talking. So, those ladders are not, the steps are not the step that you have on the ladder. Those are discrete. Like you leave one step and go on other step, and then from there you go. So this is continuous. So Prabhu is saying that's very good point. That, simultaneously we can do some karma yoga, some niskam karma yoga. Some aspect of that might be Ashtanga yoga, some might be bhakti yoga, and that's what we are talking. That Kavalya bhakti means there is only bhakti. Before that, there are other mixture with that. So yes, that's very good point. It's not a discrete point. It's continuous. So as a bhakti yogi, you might have some other aspect in your life. That's good. That's good. Appreciate that. Good point. Anything else? Anything from last chapter? Are you all following exactly what the discussion is or theme is? The subject of the discussions that we have, are we good with it? It's making sense?
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you. So no questions today. We are done, right?
Prabhuji, I had one question.
Yeah.
With the ladder of different thing, you had Nishkama Karma 1 and 2. I didn't understand. I don't think
Yeah.
I
So Niskam Karma Yoga is basically, Niskam Karma Yoga has 2 segments. So the first segment we are doing for our purification, right? We are trying to purify ourselves. And then once we purify sufficiently enough, then our objective change. And with sufficient purification now, you are trying to focus on your liberation, fully engaging in the path of bhakti. So that's what it says. Type 1, is where mostly we are trying to purify ourselves, acting for self-purification. And as you are acting for self-purification, there is some higher goal, which is getting free from the cycle of death, birth, and old age. But that is not as yet conceived or not yet clear. So once we advance on that path, then at some point we are only thinking about being free. Once heart is completely purified, then we are working on liberation. I can show you the slide. That's a good point. So in fact, it's not in Bhagavad Gita, it's not said that there is type 1 or type 2. Niskam Karma Yoga has 2 sections. This is basically for our understanding. This is basically Niskam Karma Yoga. So Sakam Karma Yoga, Niskam Karma Yoga. It's just one thing, okay? But Niskam Karma Yoga has 2 segments. The first one where purification is prominent. We want to purify ourselves with some understanding of liberation. But when we advance in that process, and when a heart is completely purified, then we can focus more on liberation. So how to understand this? So Niskam Karma Yoga is a Niskam Girhastha. Okay. Niskam Girhastha is a Girhastha who is living with the family, working, going out, doing job, bringing the money to the family, giving all the Krishna consciousness means to the family. Okay. That person is a Girhastha, but Niskam Girhastha, because he is not doing for sense gratification, he is doing for Krishna. Most of us are Niskam Girhastha. But at some point, it will happen that after Girhastha, Banprastha, and then we decide that we become sannyasi. Now we want to give the full time, no family, no home, nothing. We become full-time devotee and give our everything to Krishna. Then that is sannyasa. Now we have renounced all the material duties that we have, and we have gotten into the stage of sannyasa. So at this stage, we are very much working for our liberation. Yeah, clear, Mataji? That's how
Yes.
you can. So this is the way we can explain it. We can zoom inside and make it a little bit more clear. So from Niskam Girhastha to sannyasa, that's how you can see. The goals are different, and all of us have potential to become sannyasi. Right now, we are not fully renounced. We still have some duty, but the duty that we have, those duties are Krishna conscious duties. We are not doing it for sense gratification, but still we are doing some duty. Means our heart is not fully purified. But once the purification happens, when we think that Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarvakara Siddhihaya, then at that stage, we'll only work for Krishna. So there is a stage. Sakam Karma also there is a stage. In the beginning, you are more on the Karma Kandi type of stage, little bit of Sakama, but slowly and slowly you become mature. In Bhakti also, in the beginning stage, you have a lower faith, and over the time, the faith becomes more firmer. So it's like that. Okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Ananga Sundari Mataji, what do you have?
Yes, I was just thinking that how do we come to know that the sufficient purification has been done to our heart? Now my heart is pure and I can move on to next higher stage or something like that. How do we in our this grihasthashram position? I do not know how we can understand that, and how do we know that this is my time to get myself just fully for the Krishna's satisfaction, get myself just away from everything and just be for the Krishna. So
Yeah, how you know that? That's a good point. So whatever is natural for you right now, that is your stage of consciousness. What feels natural to you at this point? So it might feel natural that I have a daughter to take care, I have husband to take care, I need to have the house so that I can have a little better life, and I need to have deity so that I can do deity worship. So whatever is natural That's your stage of consciousness, and that's where we are. But as we grow, Shraddha Sabda Vishwas, kahe Dridh Nishchaya, Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarokar Siddhi Aya. And there are people, like for example, your Guru Maharaj. Where is his daughter? Where is his wife? Where is his house? How many days he is staying, without Krishna consciousness, right? So do you see the difference between yourself and your Guru Maharaj? Huh?
Yes.
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 Right. And does he, whatever he's doing, does he repent about it, or is his natural state?
No, he is not. He's not.
Yes. But can he do like that? Can you do
No.
like him? Exactly. So exactly. So that is, you have the answer. Exactly. So I can do right now whatever I can do based upon my Krishna consciousness. I still think that I need a house. Because that's my advancement so far. But slowly and slowly, this process will take me to brahmachari, to grihastha, to banprastha, to sannyasa. And at that stage, your faith in Krishna will become more firm. And then he would say that, no, that faith is sufficient and that faith will provide me everything. And that's what happens to them. Most of the sannyasis, their faith, their determination to Krishna, they are always serving Krishna and we are serving them, right? It's like that. So how you know? You would know by your advancement of Krishna consciousness, by reading the Shastra, by knowing the scripture, Guru, Shastra, Sadhu. Three things. Guru will tell you that yes, now you have all the qualification to become sannyasi. Shastra will tell you, like the way we are studying, that you are performing, you are doing bhakti yoga or ashtanga yoga or jnana yoga, where you are, what type of faith you have. Shastra will say. And then sadhu, the people who are around us, they will also, give the respect depending on how they perceive us. So these are the, means by which you know that if you are advancing in Krishna consciousness or people are perceiving you as Krishna conscious person, or the Shastra and your behaviors are aligning. So that's how, it's called introspection, mananam. Mananam you do and you identify yourself the way you are. And everything has to be natural. That's very important to understand. In Krishna consciousness, if you make things unnatural, then it would not last. Prabhupada said that you have to work hard, don't imitate. Don't imitate. Don't think that I have become pure devotee, so now I can leave everything. It will not last. So it has to be nature, slowly, and our nature will elevate as we elevate in our Krishna consciousness. So with the course of time, you will see the changes. Okay, Mataji, is it good enough for now?
Yes, perfect, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Vansh kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhuvya pritanaam pavane vaishnave namanam. Anant Koti Vaishnavin ki jai. Hare Krishna. Dandot to
Hare
everyone.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
giving
Prabhuji.
me